This is Local 3 News at 4.
Our news continues as we approach 4:30 here in Chattanooga. Mayor Tim Kelly is with us, as he is kind enough to do about every month or so. Yeah. Always appreciate your visits.
Happy to be here.
Got a lot to cover. Let's get right to it. New pilot program for affordable housing. You attended a grand opening for a new housing complex in Highland Park. Tell us all about it.
Well, Chattanooga Neighborhood Enterprise, who's been involved with affordable housing for a lot of years, opened a new beautiful building there with a number of new units, all of which are going to be in that affordable range. I think I toured a one-bedroom that was in the $600 a month range, and again, super high ceilings, as you're seeing their pictures. A beautiful unit, and we're just really getting started with affordable housing, but we're happy to be able to support this with an incentive, and look forward to more units like this coming online over the course of the next couple of years.
That's something to be excited about, a need we've had for a long time. All right, I was in the airport the other day, and even though I had seen on the news and read about the expansion, the doubling in size of certain areas, I have to admit I was very favorably surprised and impressed. And it was interesting to look at the reaction on social media from people in and around Chattanooga. They're like, hey, that's nice. Now, when are we going to have more flights?
Right. Well,
it's not as easy as just ordering them up, is it?
No, but it is a bit of a case of if you build it, they will come. I mean, we needed more gates. We got more gates. It's a beautiful addition. And look, we still have too many Chattanoogans that fly out of other airports, that drive to Nashville and Atlanta. So it's important that people use the Chattanooga airport, because ironically, the more people use it, the easier it is to recruit the flights. They need to see that people are using the airport. So this is going to help with that. That said, we have doubled the number of daily flights on American to Dallas. We are resuming American directs to Miami. We've got a direct to Las Vegas that starts next month. And again, we will have a direct to Denver, hopefully, that we'll be announcing sometime soon. So we've got some great momentum, and in addition to a beautiful new airport addition. It
certainly passes the eye test. That was good to see.
Yes, it was.
You know, Mayor, one of the amusing things that I find when we have new employees here from time to time, they'll be researching a story and they say, wait a minute, Chattanooga has a beer and wrecker board? Who put together a beer and wrecker board? Yeah. Well, now, as you say, there have been some changes, probably long overdue.
Yes, again, this was something that was done years ago for the convenience of city government, where there was one officer at the police department who happened to cover both areas. And so, you know, it was a bit built like a fish and a bicycle. I mean, they had nothing to do with each other, and the beer people had to sit through the record proceedings, and the record people had to sit through the beer proceedings, and the same board governed both. So one of the things when I came into office was, talking about applying some common sense to government, and this is a classic example of that. That ordinance hadn't been revisited in many, many years, and so not only does this separate beer and wrecker and puts wrecker where it belongs with other transportation-related issues, but the beer board becomes a bit more sensible in that basic applications will just go directly through the police department. If an applicant is qualified, it'll be granted. It has been a very political process where you had to kind of stand up and beg, even if the application were perfectly in order. And now the beer board will essentially become an appeals board if there are board issues that an applicant doesn't agree with, or rulings. But an administrative hearing officer will handle those first complaints. So it's really, again, a chapter in what we've been trying to do with efficient and effective government, and just making it make sense.
I don't think anybody's complaining about this breakup.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
This will be more efficient for everybody. Builder's Blueprint program is new. There's an application process. Where does this go?
Well, we've been a part of the Southern Cities for Economic Inclusion that the Atlanta Federal Reserve put on, and this was an idea that came out of some meetings we had there, realizing that we want more minority contractors, but the bonding requirements often prevent those contractors who often come on jobs as subcontractors from really being their own contractors. And so it's a way for us to coach them up and make them better business people, and help them find the capital that they need to meet those bonding requirements, so that they can apply for and receive these contracts. Look, one of the projects of the administration is to build wealth in the community generally, but very specifically in the black community, and so this will help with that.
Sounds good. And finally, during our interviews during your term, there's one thing I ask you about every time, and it's gotten to the point where sometimes he pretends he doesn't see me, walks away because he knows what's coming. First pitch,
Yes.
New Lookout Stadium, first shovel right there at the
Yes.
site of the new South Broad project. Anything new?
Well, no. I mean, it passed City Council, it passed County Commission, so we are well on the way. It now has to pass both industrial development boards. We know, unfortunately, because of all the back and forth and delays, that we will miss opening day,
Of 2025.
Of 2025. But that said, we're moving along, and so I can't tell you when that first shovel will go in the ground, but you'll be the first to know. I know.
I hope so. I know
Yes.
you'll be relieved for many
Well,
reasons.
we all will. Like, it's going to be a great project. I have great faith and confidence in it. I know not everybody does, but I do, and I think you will. I think everybody in the area will be very, very pleased when they see the end result of this.
All right, news on that coming soon, and we'll stay in touch with Mayor Kelly on some other hot topics, and hopefully some more good news coming our way soon. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
again for the visit.
Thank you, Dave.